What's poppin', Rob Television? Welcome back to another reaction with your boy. As you can tell by the title, man, I'm back with another bird reaction, bro. You know I'm going crazy with these bird reactions, man, because I know y'all loving them. And like I say, I got a lot of recommendations for bird reactions, but I ain't got those out yet. But like I said, I got the list of, reactions that I'm going to get out there for y'all. So just be patient. Just be calm. Relax. This was another video that popped up on my timeline. And I seen that. I was like, gotta react to it. Mike, Bird, gotta react to it. Because like I said, man, it be so many stories that be going on that you really do not have a clue about. Like, y'all always schooling me about stuff in the comments. And like, I'm loving the game because I'm getting hit. Like, the NBA was just so much competition back then. So I'm loving these videos because like this type of stuff, like, you really don't even hear about no more. You know what I mean? Like, so I love reacting to these videos. Like I said, man, y'all just keep commenting what y'all want to see, and I'm gonna get them out there to you. But like I said, this wasn't a recommended video. I'm just, stating that. But I ain't gonna talk out of depth, man. But before we get into this reaction, man, do me a big favor. Give me that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe. Click that post notification bell to be notified on all things Rob Television. Let's get into the reaction, man.
You are currently looking at a 21-year-old Michael Jordan, a kid who is fresh off his junior season at North Carolina and has yet to play in a single NBA game. You are also currently looking at a 27-year-old Larry Bird, who is in his prime. Looking at this matchup on paper, this should have been no contest. Jordan was the leader of the
react to that game.
Olympic team, a team made up of college kids, while Bird, he was leading a team full of NBA All-Stars who were supposed to toughen up the college kids before the Olympics and show them what life in the NBA was like. Only that's not what happened. Instead, Michael would go on to embarrass Larry and in turn created a rivalry that Michael himself would regret because Mike put up individual numbers against Bird and the Celtics that were absurd, but as you are about to see, during his time in the NBA, Michael Jordan eventually got the best of basically every star he ever faced off against except for one, and that man is Larry
Bird.
Now, you guys may remember this sequence from The Last Dance, and I'm going to explain to you why it's so meaningful.
Enjoy yourself, dog. Y'all gave us the run for our money.
Hey, let me make sure I ain't talking about the video we're going, man. But I didn't realize he had called Mike that, man. That's crazy, dog. That dude right there, man, he was hell, bro.
First out, then head coach of the Indiana Pacers version of Larry Bird after the 1998
I know it was Mike that called him that,
where the Pacers took the Bulls to 7 games. Now, Michael said these curses with a smile, but there was no joking when it came to Michael Jordan and basketball. Mike was this hyped to beat Larry because after taking him down in that Olympic exhibition game, in all reality, Jordan would never really get the best of Larry again, and instead, it was Larry Bird who would get his revenge. So what's up, guys? Mike here, and today we are taking a deep dive on the story between Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, an underrated rivalry that again could possibly be the only rivalry that Michael Jordan was ever bested in. There are some absolutely crazy stories in this video. I know you're gonna love it. I do want to say though, guys, that episode 7 of my podcast Laced Up is out right now. In that episode we talked about the NBA MVP and we did a huge NBA playoff preview. Make sure to go check it out. The link is in the description, and remember, if you go to the Laced Up podcast channel, if you subscribe and turn on post notifications, you are going to be entered to win a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. That is a pretty sweet deal for just a few clicks of a button. So guys, go check out the podcast, link in the description. And now let's talk about this video. Let's set the stage with the 1984 Olympic team and the NBA All-Stars. Because you see, in order to get his team ready for the 1984 Olympics, Bob Knight scheduled 8 exhibitions with current NBA players, including several current All-Stars and future Hall of Famers. Now remember, at this point in time, only college kids could play in the Olympics. However, it was expected that these college kids would lose to the NBA All-Stars, right? Well, we'll get into that, but this also led to the first documented Michael Jordan versus Larry Bird matchup on July 9th, 1984. In this game, the NBA All-Star starting lineup featured future 3-time NBA champion John Paxson, 3-time All-Star Mark Aguirre, and 3 Hall of Famers in Robert Parrish, Isaiah Thomas, and of course, Larry Bird. Meanwhile, the Olympic team had 3 future Hall of Famers in Michael Jordan, Chris Mullin, and Patrick Ewing, but these were just college kids and they had no business really competing with NBA All-Stars. The Olympic team actually went 8-0 against 8 separate teams of NBA stars. As we all know, Michael Jordan was not the #1 or #2 pick in the 1984 draft, but playing for Bob Knight, Jordan established himself himself as a dominant force, and it was clear this guy was going to make a huge impact in the league right away, and he did, as Mike would average over 28 points per game as a rookie. Now, because of this, Larry Bird saw Jordan as a threat. He saw him as a young kid who was going to try to come in and take over the league that Bird was currently dominating. Remember, Larry was the MVP in 1984, and he would actually win MVP in 1985 and 1986 as well. This meant that Larry Legend was at his apex, and he wanted Michael Jordan to know this was his league, which meant, according to Sports Illustrated, during the pregame warmups in Indy, Jordan had chased a ball to the NBA end, whereupon Bird controlled it. Did Bird hand it to Jordan? He did not. Without a smile, Bird kicked the ball over Jordan's head back to the Olympians' end. Jordan didn't seem surprised, he just shook his head. 4 nights later, when Jordan crashed to the floor in Milwaukee and Johnson paused to help him up, the NBA coach waved Johnson off. "Get away from him. He's been over our backs all night," shouted none other than Oscar Robertson. Looking at Larry Bird specifically here, you heard that right. When a ball bounced to the NBA All-Star side and Michael Jordan went to retrieve it, Larry Bird did not give it to him. Instead, he kicked it over Michael Jordan's head. With this, Larry was telling Mike, "I don't care who you are. You're going to have to earn respect in the NBA, and it's going to be tough." The thing is, though, this move would look kind of silly because on this night, Michael Jordan would embarrass the NBA All-Stars, including Larry Bird. Mike would help lead the Olympic team to a win as he showcased his jaw-dropping athleticism and his ability to already seemingly score at will. And of course, it wouldn't be a Michael Jordan game if there was not a huge highlight, which came in the form of this absolutely monster dunk over Robert Reed. Now, as for what Mike thought about Larry's actions during warm-ups, he would later say, quote, "Bird was showing me it was all business now, and I was beneath him. I didn't forget." Which means, I guess you could say, Michael Jordan took this personal. But the thing is, Larry Bird took this personal too. Remember, Larry was in his absolute prime at this point, but so were several Hall of Fame guards and forwards, and as I'm about to show you, Michael would eventually get the best of all of these players, because when Michael entered the NBA, 4 guards/forwards would make the first team All-NBA in Michael's first 2 seasons. And guys, before we continue quickly, remember on this channel right here, if you also subscribe and turn on post notifications,
my man get one plug crazy.
1.7 million subscribers, I'm also going to give one of you a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, so make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications. It's completely free. And guys, remember, if you're already subscribed, make sure to turn on post notifications too. That way you are also entered for this giveaway. All it takes is one click of a single button. Continuing on, these men were Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, and Dominique Wilkins. Now, as you can see against Dominique, for his career, Michael beat him in everything. Wins, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, points, you name it. Michael had Dominique's number in the regular season, and in the playoffs, the two matched up once, and Mike's Bulls swept
3-0.
Moving on to Magic Johnson. Michael barely snuck out a win difference in the regular season, and I would say certainly he had better overall numbers, but what was most important was, in their one meeting in the NBA Finals, Jordan dominated, and the Bulls won Mike's first championship in 5 games. So again, advantage Mike. This brings us to Isaiah Thomas,
crazy,
one other name on this list that actually has an argument for besting Mike. Now, in the regular season, Isaiah did win more games, but again, I'd say Mike had better numbers, and then in the playoffs, Mike's numbers were clearly better, but Isaiah does have the win differential here. The thing is, though, Mike would get his revenge against Isaiah. He would, of course, knock out the Pistons in the 1991 Eastern Conference Finals after years of losing to them, a revenge that was so sweet that the Pistons refused to shake hands with the Bulls after they were swept. This revenge makes all the difference, because in Michael's matchups against Larry Bird, when looking at them head-to-head, we can see that in the regular season, Larry bested Mike in the wins column and put up similar numbers other than score. Then in the playoffs, bam, Bird's Celtics took down Jordan's Bulls all 6 times they played, and even though Mike had some absurd games, including, of course, his 63-point outburst against the 1986 Celtics, where Larry would call Michael Jordan God disguised.
That's man, God, I don't think nobody ever beat Mike that much, especially not in the play. Well, of course, not in the playoffs.
Jordan would never get revenge over Larry Bird, which is, of course, not only extremely rare, but makes Larry one of a kind. And the thing is,
for sure, 1 of 1.
When Larry eventually retired, Michael would make this statement: "Larry, I hear that you're retiring. Thank goodness, I'm glad. I'm tired of seeing your face. You brought a lot of sad memories for me. I enjoyed it, and I wish you a lot of luck, and I think you had a great great and wonderful career, you ruined a lot of my successful games against the Boston Celtics. Some great words and some telling words, because we can see here Larry Bird was really the one guy that Michael Jordan never got. And sure, Larry Bird's Celtics were better than Michael Jordan's Bulls early on, but that was the case of a lot of teams when Michael Jordan entered the NBA. The thing is, Mike got revenge on every single one of those teams except for the Celtics and Bird. This already is huge, and I think because of this, Mike not only had the ultimate respect for Larry, but he also openly admitted that he learned a lot from him, especially in the matter of getting into his opponent's heads. Mike has stated, Larry Bird is the greatest trash talker and mind game player of all time.
Hey,
he taught me
facts.
everything I know about getting in folks' heads. This was certainly true. During his time in the NBA, Mike watched as Larry did the following things, and this is just naming a few Larry Bird trash talking stories, as there are a ton, but number one, in Mike's rookie year, Larry was playing the Atlanta Hawks and dropped 60 points. An amazing feat that was even more incredible because according to Doc Rivers, quote, the last shot he said in the trainer's lap coming down the court, which meant it was going to be a three and it was going to be from deep. And then he said, who wants it? Then I think Reggie Brown, I'm not sure who it was, ran out after him. He shot this high rainbow. It goes in. Reggie bumps
and landed
into
right
him
on the
and
dude.
accidentally knocks him on our trainer's lap.
And they
Yes,
going
Larry Bird
crazy.
actually landed in the trainer's lap, scored 60 points on the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks bench celebrated. Absolutely amazing story.
Got fined
Of
for
course,
it too.
Larry went into the locker room before the 1988 three-point contest, asked everyone
Ooh.
competing who is coming in second, then proceeded to keep his warm-up jacket on and win the contest on this
With a
final
warm-up
shot.
jacket on, bro.
Tie for the money. Yo! Larry Bird at the buzzer with
That's
the
confidence.
white ball.
Then, of course, we have number 3, an absolute classic, as on Christmas Day in 1990, Larry went up to Indiana Pacer Chuck Person before the game and said, hey Chuck, I have a Christmas present for you. Then, during that game, he pulled a 3 in Chuck's face and said, Merry f***ing Christmas. These are just 3 of the legendary trash-talking stories that Larry Bird racked up during his NBA career, and I wanted to highlight them because Michael saw what Larry was doing. Michael saw how effective this trash-talking was and began to do the same.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, he gotta be. I'm like Mike, bro. He gotta be the best trash talker and mind game player that there was in history, bro. I gotta say, I got more trash talking videos I'm gonna react to, but I just don't see nobody beating him,
We saw
man.
that Larry played mind games with
Mary.
his opponents, and that this paid off big time, and so
Christmas.
Michael developed his own style of getting into his opponents' heads and even went as far as befriending Charles Barkley during the 1993 NBA Finals, taking him golfing before Game 4 of those finals, and giving him a $20,000 earring so that Chuck would lose his competitive edge. That's right, when asked why he did this, Mike supposedly said, he won't get in my way the rest of the series. What's $20,000 to me? Charles thinks we're great friends. I hate that fat An absolutely incredible story, and again, Michael himself said that he learned from Larry. He learned how to get into his opponent's heads, and this paid off big time as his career progressed. Which brings us to my final thoughts. What should we take away from this video? Well, to me, I think it's remarkable that the one guy that Michael Jordan could never best was Larry Bird, and maybe, of course, if Larry Bird's back did not give out, Michael would have gotten his chance to take down Bird because his career would have been longer. But it can also be said that if Larry's back held up, he would have been better. He would have stayed in his MVP form.
Hey, you never know.
Celtics, who were
That's one of them what if videos.
80s, so Larry could have even gained a larger advantage on Jordan. We'll never know for sure there. What we do know is that in an extremely rare occurrence, it was an opponent who took things personal against Michael Jordan and actually got the better of him. Yes, Larry Bird took the loss in that 1984 exhibition game, but then after that, he did not do a whole lot more losing, especially in the playoffs. 6-0 for Larry Bird and the Celtics. That is something that Larry Bird will take to his grave and is the reason why Michael was so hyped to beat Larry Bird when Larry was a coach. Finishing up here though, I do also think it's awesome that Mike really held no hard feelings against Larry. Sure, he is a competitive psychopath and always wanted to beat Larry, but he has openly praised Larry Bird. He has openly said that he has learned from Larry Bird.
It's always just competition, you know, it ain't never
To
personal.
help himself become the greatest basketball player of all time. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and also go check out my podcast and subscribe and turn on post notifications there. You're going to be entered to win a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, and on this channel, same deal. As soon as we hit 1.7 million subscribers, I'm giving away
My bad, man. I ain't mean to cut you off. But yeah, as you can see, that's it for the video. But that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I didn't realize until he just kind of broke it down, but Bird really did beat Mike 6 times in the playoffs. Now, I don't know the regular season numbers, you know, but I know playoffs where it really, really mattered, Mike couldn't mess with him. Mike got the 1 win or 2 wins on him. Well, as them playing was that one major win was when, you know, he surprised the whole team. Like I shout out to, I forgot who the guy was, but he commented that he wanted me to react to that. So I'm gonna get their reaction out there to you guys for sure. But that is it for the video, man. If you did enjoy this reaction, man, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe. When you subscribe, click that post notification bell to be notified on all things Rob Television. I'm out this thing. Gang.